Hey girl, what's up? I forgot to make this like a scheduled thing. So hopefully people's got a notification and they show up, child. But I want to talk about this reunion because it was crazy. Oh, you like my eyeshadow? I'm trying something a little different. Hey Tara. I have been looking forward to this. Yes. Girl, I'm not gonna lie. I have not reviewed. Okay. The last episode I reviewed was the one where Chris went off on Jessica. After that, y'all, the season got really bad. Like, the season already wasn't that good. After the whole like fight with Janelle, it just seemed like it got worse and worse. Um, I think because I wanted to like Janelle, and then it was kind of like a big disappointment, and she kind of was a negative Nancy the whole time for the whole group, and it was just kind of hard to watch after a while. Hey Day, hey Tara, definitely crazy to get. Oh my goodness, like it's ready to love and hip hop, ready to like ready to fight. Like what is going on? It was so ghetto, but honestly, that it's gotten to that point with this show. Like I would be shocked if people didn't go off on each other at some point during the reunion. Hey, Skewel. And you know what? I really think they need a different host for the reunion because I like Tommy hosting like the season. I think he's good at that. But for the reunion, we need somebody who knows how to ask the right questions, hold people accountable, hold people's feet to the fire. Cause Tommy, it seemed like he still want to be friends with people at the end of it. It's like Tommy. And then I heard or I saw, I think I saw this on Twitter, that a lot of people that get casted are like frat brothers with Tommy. And I'm like, that makes sense because Tommy seems like he shows favoritism over the men sometimes. And I that gets on my nerves. Um, I don't know. Like I feel like they need somebody that's gonna be a little messy, somebody that can, get people under control without trying to act like somebody's daddy. You know what I'm saying? Worst season ever from the castmates to the love connection they offer. Exactly. What connections? What connections? We can't name one real connection. The only real connection that I truly believed was Aries and Phil. And that didn't end up working out because of whatever Phil's financial situation is. But I actually believe they liked each other. Outside of them, like I don't even truly believe Janelle and Quentin liked each other. I think Janelle liked the fact that I don't know, she liked holding him over other people's heads and feeling like she won him. And I feel like Quentin just want to be seen, y'all. Tommy was just there for a chat. Thank you. He don't get to the bottom of Nathaniel. Exactly. Like I'm so tired. It's so frustrating because the reunion, we come here so that we can get to the bottom of things, so that we can get answers from the season. So, so we can make sense of things. Like Tommy, you were there for a lot of this stuff. Like you don't want to know, you don't want to know the real answers to some of these questions. Like I just don't get it. I'm tired of seeing fake connections. Yes, true. And Morier, how did it get to the point where Morier was the only one with multiple connections? Morier should have been eliminated within at least the first half of the season. How did Morier even make it to the end? That is like a running theme for this show. There's always a person at the end that's like, how did you even get here? And I feel like it's because they be getting in cahoots, they be getting alliances. and they make little deals behind the scenes to make it to the end, because I don't remember one person that I could think, oh yeah, I could see Morier with that person. And then had the nerve to be choosing. Like, are we really fighting over Morier? Okay. Okay. Why do they put people on there who don't want kids? Well, there are certain people in this world that don't want kids. And I know, like, especially women, when they get to a certain age, like they do. I'm trying to figure out how my camera's working. Um but there are certain people in this world who don't want kids, and you never know, you might throw them in there, and obviously it's going to bring drama, but you might find your other person that doesn't want kids either. Morier's so fake. I feel like he expects a lot and offers nothing. Exactly. And he gives me Hotep vibes. He gives me strong Hotep vibes. I don't know. I don't know. Like, he acts like he wants a strong black woman. He'll say that, but I think actually in practice, I think he'll fold. Oh, 5 heartbeats looking so. I will never forget when he wore them medium overalls that were capri length. Like, I will never forget. And they were pleather. Like, there was so much wrong with that picture. It was too tight on your stomach. And plus, more, how old is Morier? Because he looked too old for that. It don't even matter how old you are. You look too old for that. Please. With that comb over. Okay, but I'm getting too far into it. Let's just go ahead and get started with the review. Okay, so let's start with Kat. Kat really cried over Morier? Yeah, I was shocked to see that. I'm like, Kat, you are a baddie. Like, you have like one for you. You're a pretty woman, nice body. Um, honey, not Morier. And I would have never thought she would have ever been attracted to him. I thought she was only giving him the time of day just so she could be on the show. But maybe she really did like him, child. I'm like, and if that's the case, maybe he should have chosen her, because I could see that more than him being with Jessica. He dresses like one of the little rascals. Girl, you crying over alfalfa? You crying over buckwheat? Ma'am. No, ma'am, we're not doing that. But both Morier and Q said that possibly there could have been something with Kat had she come in sooner, like with everyone else. And Jessica and Janelle, they were feeling some type of way. You could see that all over their face. They were seething, child. They could not take the fact that they said that. And but that I also wanted to say, I don't like the wild card, like, or the curveball, whatever they call it. I don't like that. Bring everybody in at the same time. That whole situation, it never works out. And that's everybody, that's what everybody says every time. We just didn't have enough time, or I had already formed connections with somebody. Like, just stop doing that. Like, y'all throw that in there for drama, but it ends up fizzling out too quickly. That person usually goes home too soon. Because even the other guy, what was his name, the country guy, I feel like he was a good catch, and I feel like had he come in when everybody else did, I feel like he would have had a better chance of, getting to know more people. But I don't know. I felt like he was a good one that kind of got Chris. Did y'all see Chris get that haircut? I don't think he had one at the reunion. But recently on social media, I saw that he cut his hair. He was already a good looking guy, but that took him up a few notches. I was like, y'all, I don't know why they overlook Chris like that. Maybe because I like a good country accent. I don't know, but I'm just like, if I were single, I would go for him. Like, and yeah, he was the best looking one. I don't get it. um, Now let's talk about Red versus Unique. So, y'all know what the situation is. You know, Red said himself that he had a bad stigma on his job with people thinking that he's not a family man or whatever. And so, you know, Unique, she said it in a joking type of cheeky way. She said, "Oh, you have a job. Oh, you have a thought job, right?" Wasn't uncalled for. Okay, maybe, but it really wasn't that deep. I feel like he should have just laughed it off, said whatever he was going to say about it, and moved on. Um, she could have said something really disrespectful and called you Franklin. Hey, it's Franklin. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Come into play. She could have said you look like a turtle. She could have said something that nobody would have blamed her for saying after all of this that you did, all this drama that you kept up for no reason. Okay, she could have been disrespectful, but I feel like under the circumstances, Unique actually really held her composure because he could be red from head to toe. Franklin, red is sassy and sensitive. It's never that deep for you to be going in. Like every time we saw him, he was confronting Unique over this situation. What I really think what happened is your ego got bruised because she didn't like you like that. She didn't want you like that. And you felt some type of way. And so you were trying to make her pay for it, or you was trying to dog her out or embarrass her every chance you got when you just embarrassed yourself. And then you got on TV talking about how you're the king of Houston, and then everybody's on Twitter is like, who are you? They don't know who you are there. You embarrassed yourself. And then even the other women were like, we didn't like the fact that he was name dropping every chance he got because that's corny. Somebody that really runs Houston, somebody that's really like that or really got it like that, is not going to act like you, Red. It's not going to be that pressed. Goodness, that was so annoying. Like he just kept going on and on and on. He should have just left it, like laughed it off or whatever. And even at the reunion, he couldn't let it go. But anyway, she apologized and he still wouldn't let it go. They showed a behind the scenes clip of he brought it up in front of Quentin. Like he brought it up even more than we thought he did. He brought it up in front of Quentin. Quentin said, well, people said I have a thought job, but he laughed it off. Like he didn't just keep going on and on about it. So um then this is where I say Tommy gets on my nerves, because it's like he made her give a dictionary definition of what she meant. And well, do I have a thought job? Tommy, stop. Stop. Um Red is selling thought job teas. I'm tired of people thinking they're gonna have a viral moment and then start making t-shirts. Who in their right mind is gonna purchase a t-shirt that says thought job? To me, that sounds like an inappropriate bedroom act. Why would I wear that on my chest? Like, let's be for real. Let's come on. Let's get serious. Um, Now this is where Unique got off for me. She started being evasive and alluding to the fact that maybe he's not taking care of his children. And if that's the case, first of all, that's trifling if that's the case. But even I have to say that's a bit too far for this situation. It's not that deep. And I wasn't mad at Janelle for speaking up and saying, let's not bring the children in this. I agree with that. But it's just the fact that, people were like, she was trying to allude to it and say it without saying it. And it's like, girl, like, if you're going to say it, say it. Say it with your chest, stand on it, okay? But it just didn't even need to be brought up anyway. There's so many other things you could say about Red. Like, so many, like, he's in his feelings 1,000%. So anywhere you poke him, you gonna win. You gonna win. You already won. Um, but yeah, anyway, let's move on. Morier and Jessica, nobody in their right mind believe that. Like, we haven't seen, first of all, we didn't see them kiss on the last day. Everybody kisses on that day. The day where they choose each other, everybody kisses on that day. He kissed her on the forehead. She gave him her forehead to kiss. They barely hugged. Even at the reunion, their body language, they were too separate. They were too separate. Did he even have his arm around her? Like, if you're gonna play in our faces, at least put on a show. At least sit next to him, close to him, like you actually like him. The way she was sitting felt like she was a little bit disgusted even playing. So yeah, they're horrible actors. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Nobody believed it on that stage. Nobody believed it behind the scenes. Ain't nobody convinced. Don't see any sort of chemistry. I don't even see friendship chemistry. Like, they don't even seem like they speak to each other on a daily basis, on a regular basis. Like, and then Tommy was like, he brought up the fact that he said that she reminds him of his mother, and I don't know, it was just, all of it was weird. She couldn't even tell Tommy why she liked the man. Like, the thing about Jessica, I don't know how you're gonna find somebody or be in a relationship with somebody when you're so uptight and you're guarded and you're closed off. You can't even give a smile. It doesn't even feel like, you can't even be flirty. Like, I've been saying this the whole season. Like, she just comes off so cold. And people said aggressive. I don't think it's necessarily aggressive. I just think that she's very standoffish and unfriendly. She doesn't give, unapproachable even. Like, I just, like, I wouldn't, I would feel like I couldn't say nothing to her. Like, if she was sitting next to me out and about, I wouldn't feel like I could talk to her. Like, I feel like she needs to work on that, because it just feels so sterile. It feels so professional. Like, when you let your hair down, girl, like, come on. Like, I know you have it in you. She needs to, like, I don't know, be like Stella and get her groove back. I don't know. I think she put some extra stank on it because of that cat comment. She was trying to rub it in, but girl, don't nobody believe it. It's not believable. It's not. I can't. So let's move on to Habitat. Habitat for Humanity. Habibi. I don't agree with his name. That's why I don't never call him that, because I feel like that's appropriation. But anyway, um he acted like he was apologizing. You know, when you say, I apologize if you felt, that's not really an apology. So I really wasn't mad at Sierra and Janelle when they didn't really want to accept his apology. Um, and then he tried to act like, well, I'm not the type of person to say what I said, but you said it. You said it and you did it. Like, um, I believe Janelle, you know, we didn't see it happen on camera, but I believe Janelle when she said that, you know, she turned around and they were chest to chest, and he was talking about her breasts and said he was gonna suck them or whatever. I was just like, oh my God. I still to this day feel like he should have been immediately eliminated, ejected, and just completely taken out of the whole process. That's harassment, and that should not have been tolerated. He shouldn't have even been able to last long enough to be able to be eliminated. Like, I thought that was completely out of line. And then, you know, what he said to Sierra, that was disrespectful too. Like, especially for the little innocent story she told about how her mom was taking too long to crack her crawfish tail, and he said her mom ain't ish. I thought that was completely out of line. And I love how Sierra was going in. Sierra is so funny, by the way. I would love to see Sierra and maybe a couple of others. Oh, y'all, my mind is going a mile a minute right now. But did y'all see that they're going to be having like a new dating show with like 3 women from the past seasons of this show, and it's going to be like them dating? Have y'all seen that? I forgot when it's supposed to come out, but that's supposed to be coming out soon. I feel like Sierra would be good on a show like that. Kind of like Queen's Court with Tamar, Evelyn, and Nivea, but they're doing like a Ready to Love edition. Tommy should have been the one to eliminate him after that comment to Janelle. I totally agree. Why is Zadia on there? I don't know. Why did they choose Zadia? Who is in casting? Y'all chose one of the most unlikable women from her season to be on there. Like, are we rooting for Zadia? Why she ain't still with that man that she claimed to have liked? Were they together? Yeah. She didn't like him. But anyway, let me get back to this because I got totally off track. But oh yeah, Sierra was calling him out. She was still very offended, and she was just confronting him and saying, like, why don't you just give a real apology like a grown man? Like, you said something very offensive to me about my mother. That's not cool. And he started trying to therapize the situation, talking about parents put their own endeavors on the child. What does that have to what does that have to do? You need to be in a therapist chair, okay? What does that have to do with anything? And then Janelle started confronting him. She got mad when he said that he understood where they were coming from. She was like, well, why don't you tell us where we are coming from? And he was like, well, you tell me. You're the one who's mad. And it's like, she told him, you're out of line. You take no accountability for what you have to say. And at some point, she just got up and stormed out because honestly, Tommy was not really holding him accountable, because when Sierra was like, why don't you just apologize like a man? Everybody was like, he did apologize. And it's like, no, give a real apology. Anyway, so Janelle stormed out, and normally Janelle be doing the most, but I was feeling Janelle in that moment because he was playing in everybody's face, child. When I turned around and he was playing the sax, y'all let this man play the sax. And at first I wanted to laugh, but then I'm like, a serious situation went down and y'all letting this man really make a joke out of this. Like, that was not even funny. Yeah, I heard him. He wants to take a shower with Sierra. Like, he is getting away with murder. And I think they're letting him get away with it because they're like, oh, he must just have a couple screws loose. But no, hold this man accountable. He ain't nobody's child. That's a grown man talking like that. So he didn't say shower. I could have sworn he said shower. I could have sworn maybe he did say shot. I don't know. But I just feel like the whole situation was handled in the wrong way. Like, they let him get away with too much. Then we have Marvin. Marvin, a big old freak, scaring all the ladies with all his freaky ways, child. But I will give him credit for being honest and upfront and unapologetic about it, child. At least giving them the option. Like, don't pretend to be something else, and then once you get the women in your clutches, you spring all this nasty, freaky, booty worshiping mess that you be spouting. At least he gave them the option to choose whether or not they wanted to participate in that. Unique was the only one to really take him seriously. And she went to one of his little shows, child, and participated in the wax therapy. But it turns out that, he ended up finding another woman that is going to be his mistress in his dirty ways. So we're going to leave it at that. Then we get to Taquilla. Makes sense that her and Habitat have connected because they on the same wavelength. She just more on the violent side of things. She's still salty about Phil not liking her. Still, y'all just didn't connect. There were other men in the process that you could have talked to and gotten to know, but she just could not. Like, she was so focused on Phil, she could not let that go. And I think that's why she went as dirty as she did during this reunion, because her ego could not take the fact that Phil didn't want her. She put him on blast for the fact that he had to file bankruptcy. Phil said that he's in real estate and his properties went under. And so, that happened in 2007. I don't know how relevant that is to his finances now, but her just putting that out there flop because it just made her look bad because there was no reason for her to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? It kind of put a little validity to what Aries was saying, but for her to say that, everybody was taken aback. Everybody was gasping. It was like, you did not have to do that. Phil never disrespected you, so there was no point in you saying that. So then, what else happened? Janelle, she said, okay, between her and Janelle, she said that Janelle told her that they weren't trying to tear black men down on television, and so she felt like she was tearing down habitat. I feel like all bets are off whenever you do something that disgusting towards me. I can say whatever I want to say about you at that point. Still going hard defending this man. Habitat ain't even trying to defend himself as hard as Taquilla is. Taquilla is just using this as an excuse to fight with Janelle because she's still mad for what happened. And does Janelle poke her? For sure. And we're going to see that later on. But Taquilla also has to learn as a grown woman how to control her reactions, because nothing that Janelle has said or done to her, I think, warrants those responses. Now, can she defend herself? Can she respond, in an argument, in a war of words? Yeah, but the fact that she always jumps towards hopping up and wanting to fight, it's not that serious. But while they were on stage, Janelle dismissed her the entire time and said, I don't even want to go back over all this, and they squashed it supposedly. But then when they got behind the scenes, Janelle said something about a feather, and Taquilla is the only one wearing feathers, so clearly she was taking a jab at Taquilla. And Taquilla, obviously that set her off, and it just didn't take much to set Taquilla off. And Janelle, she hit the table, stood up saying, what you want to do? Do you want to fight? Do you want to fight? And Taquilla said that she's from Shreveport and she got escorted out. And it's like, why y'all only be escorting Taquilla out? Because Janelle be just as belligerent. And Janelle has gotten online saying that she liked to fight. That's one thing. That's one area in her life that she hasn't matured in. So I don't know. I just don't think it's right that they're always just pulling Taquilla out when Janelle is just as belligerent. Janelle can be just as belligerent. Janelle can be just as belligerent. She is just more articulate. But she loves to provoke people. Yeah, she loves to provoke people, and she loves pushing people's buttons and then try to play bully and victim at the same time. You can't do that. But yeah, I'm ready for next week's episode because I want to see where Quentin and Janelle are, if they're still together or whatever, because whenever Janelle stormed out with that Habibi situation, Herbert was the one to go out and console her. So I'm guessing that her and Q are not still together. We'll see, child. Yes, Taquilla let Janelle get the best of her. I heard him say shower. I heard her say shot. So I'm confused. Maybe they were confused about what each other said. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this review, guys. Shout out to everybody in here. Make sure you like the video. And yeah, I'll be back next week and we'll talk about part 2. And let me know if y'all want me to review the new Ready to Love spinoff show that's coming out. And yeah, I will see you in my next one. Peace.